Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's June the 2nd and I've had a good month off of YouTube now. I'm back and I thought I'd start off with a bit of a Q&A. Quite a while ago I did a post on Instagram, when I was on Instagram, asking people if they'd like to ask me some questions, some common questions about the Discovery and a bit about the channel. And I've got a few questions to answer. So let's get into it. I hope that you've all been well and you've been managing to get out on the lanes and all that kind of stuff. I haven't. I've been doing a lot of house maintenance and bits and bobs, and a bit of work on the Land Rover, a bit of work on the van, a bit of work on my other car. So yeah, been a bit busy. So let's start off. We've got the first question, got it on my phone, is by Connor Belt, and he asks, what size wheels and tyres have you got on the Discovery? Now this is a very common question that I get. I've even done a video on it, but I will answer you. I've got the 265/75 R16 BF Goodrich all-terrain KO2s. I haven't took them off-road yet because I've been inundated with work and other things. I haven't had a chance to get off the beaten track. But if they're anything like the KO1s, if you can call them that, then they should be good. I have had them on the motorway. We've been all the way down to Cornwall, 13 hours driving with them on, and the road noise is really quiet. It's a lot better than the other ones. The handling in the wet, in the dry, in the icy weather, can't fault them for that. They also look really cool as well. But I'm pretty sure they'll handle, you know, the rough stuff pretty well. Now the wheels are a 16-inch steel wheel. They're a deep dish, and I think they're a -35 offset. Like I say, it's all in the video. I'll pop it up here. Check it out if you want to know a little bit more. But yeah, they're just a deep dish steel wheel, and I have actually got some paint here. I've got some satin black paint, because I'm going to give them a coat of paint because they are looking a bit scruffy. So yeah, that's my wheels and tyres. Next question is by Smithy1834. I've actually met Smithy. He lives quite local to me, and he's been round and had a look at the Discovery before. So thank you for your question. How long have you owned the Discovery? Now I've actually got the original purchase sheet, if you can call it, the invoice, here. And the date is the 17th of the 8th 2012, so it's coming up to 10 years since I bought it. I bought it from a fella in Manchester, and I paid £1,875 for it. So there you go, that's how long I've had it. It was pretty standard when I bought it, and I'll pop a picture on. So this is what it looked like when I first bought it. Obviously I give it a bit of a polish and, you know, tidied it up a bit, but that's what it looks like. And I've done all the modifications on it myself. I've done all the work on it myself, all the welding. There's been a hell of a lot of welding. A lot of work has gone into it that you can't actually see. A lot of the underneath and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to do a separate video on like the history of the Discovery, because like I say, it was pretty standard when I bought it, but I've rebuilt it pretty much, and now it's lifted and modified and got flared arches and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've done a lot of work to it, and everything that I have done to it has been done by me. The only thing that I haven't done was quite a few years ago. That was the timing belt, and that was just purely because I didn't have the time, so I got a friend of mine to do it. And the clutch, I got the clutch done last year. It wasn't entirely done by me, but I assisted with it because I'd never done a clutch before, so I helped out. Yeah. Next question is by Adventures by Land. This is Pedro, my Patreon supporter. Huge thanks to Pedro. He is giving me no end of ideas and helpful tips and all that kind of stuff. And he's going to feature on the channel. He sent me over a load of footage, and we're going to do a bit of a walk around of his discovery. He's in Portugal, which means that I can't be there to actually talk to him face to face. So we're probably going to do a bit of a Zoom call and do it that way. Anyway, he's got a couple of questions. What is your favourite mod on the Discovery? It's a difficult question to answer, that one. I've done so many modifications on it, I've forgotten half of them. Everything has a purpose. Like the snorkel helps to go through deep water, peace of mind, all that kind of stuff. The lift kit obviously lifts the car up, so you're not worrying about damaging the underside with rocks. But I think my favourite is probably the Discovery 2 cup holders. If you have a Discovery, and you'll know about the cup holders in the centre of the dash, they open out, they're a bit rickety, and once you've got a cup in there you can't get to the heater controls, they get in the way of the stereo, they're just crap. The Discovery 2 cup holders are on the centre console, and you can literally just grab a drink as you're driving. They're not in the way of anything, they don't get in the way of the gear stick. They're just brilliant. They're just so much easier for having a drink on the go. So I'd say it's probably them. Despite all the other handy, helpful mods, the cup holders have been pretty good, and for the price of them as well. His next question: what adventures have you got planned for 2022? Now, 2022 is mainly going to be about spending time with the family and my partner. I got kind of caught up in the whole YouTube and social media following Snowball a couple of years ago, and I didn't spend as much time as I wanted to with my family. So we bought a caravan. We're going to go away caravanning. I'm probably going to film them adventures. I'm going to spend some time with my partner, going on trips, just me and her. We recently went to Ingleton Falls and Malham Cove on a bit of a child-free weekend. It was nice, it was brilliant. I did film a little bit, but they probably won't feature on the channel. I'm just going to keep them for personal, videos to look back on as memories. Some of them with the kids will be personal as well. I won't post too much with the kids unless they become a big part of the channel, then I don't know. Haven't decided. But there is a lot of green laning trips that I'm going to go on with my partner, without my partner. We'll see what happens. Yeah, mainly just going on holidays, seeing a bit more of the world, a bit more of the country. Like I say, I would like to meet up with a lot of people doing green laning and going on trips, but I'm trying to concentrate on doing things at home, getting the home life sorted first before I start going on long trips. And I want to incorporate it with my family as well, because family means everything. So yeah, I haven't got anything planned just yet, but there's things that I'd like to do. Next question: what mods do you have planned for the Discovery? I never tend to plan any mods, really. It's kind of always a spur of the moment thing. Down to the lift kit, I didn't plan on lifting the Discovery. It was when I was rebuilding it, I just saw that everything looked a bit rusty and a bit old, and I thought, well, while I've got it all ripped apart, I might as well put new on. For the price of standard springs and shocks, the difference wasn't that much for a lifted set, so I kind of just went for that. And then once I'd lifted it, I realised I needed bigger tyres and all this kind of stuff, so it kind of snowballed that way. And down to mods, I'd like to add another inch of lift to the suspension. I haven't really found anywhere that does an inch lift block though. I've got 2-inch lifted springs. I'd like to just put a lift block underneath of an inch just to give it that little bit extra. But like I say, I haven't found anywhere that does that yet, so I might have to wait for that. I do need caster corrected front radius arms. I'm still running standard arms, and the shockers are just slightly rubbing on the turrets, so I need to get the 3-degree arms for that. Again, just another thing that I've got to save up for. The gearbox needs a rebuild. I am going to do a rebuild on that. I'm not going to do it personally though. I haven't got the tools to do it, so I'm not going to try. I'm just going to send it away, get it rebuilt. I'm toying with the idea of doing the 5th gear upgrade, which is a bigger 5th gear, usually found on the V8 version, which reduces the RPM when you're in 5th gear, reducing engine noise, and also reducing fuel consumption, or reducing the fuel consumption, so you get better miles to the gallon. So I'm toying with the idea of that. It's going to be an extra probably £120–130 to do that on top of the rebuild cost, so it just depends how much money I have and how soon I can get that done. So that's another mod. I'm going to do some performance upgrades because the Discovery is just a little bit sluggish when it's pulling the caravan, and I want to improve that. I've looked into all sorts. I've looked into engine swaps, the 3-litre M57 engine swap, even looked at a TD5 engine swap. I don't really want to get into all that because it's a lot of work and a lot of money. If I can just put a bigger intercooler on, add the boost pin that I already have, and do a few little tweaks here and there, then hopefully that will improve the drivability of the vehicle. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else. There's a few bits and bobs here and there. I've got some suspension upgrades, but I don't want to reveal too much. So yeah, stay tuned. Also, I've been looking at maybe Raptor painting the Discovery. I don't want it to look naff, so I haven't found the colour that I'd like to go for. I'd like to keep it green, but yeah, I haven't found the colour that I'd like to go for, so I'm still undecided with that. But that would make for cool content, me interesting to see, and it'd also make the car look a lot nicer as well. Starting to look a little bit worn here and there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks Pedro for them questions. Next question is by Ben Swede 007 on Instagram. I've actually been on a few green laning trips with Ben Swede. He's the guy with the grey Defender 90. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. I do like Ben. He's a good lad. He hasn't really got a question, to be honest. He just said, "Do you fancy a pint?" And I tell you, Ben, I always fancy a pint. And next time I see you, the pint's on me. So yeah, cheers. The next question is by Scott.can on Instagram. His question is, does the headlight spread affect... I'll start again. Does the headlight spread get affected by the light effectively going through two lenses? Now what he means by that, let me just show you. Now these are the headlights by Bro Rover, and I don't know if they're about somewhere. They're in the garage somewhere. The garage is a complete tip at the minute, so I'm not looking for them. These are the headlights that I bought from Bro Rover. I custom made some in a previous video that you may have already seen, and they incorporate the original headlight lens that goes over the top of this. So what he means is the light is coming through this lens on this light, and then it's coming through the original lens as well. He's asking if it gets affected. I'll be honest, I didn't notice a difference when I was driving. The light spread was pretty good. Yeah, I didn't notice a difference. I think it'd probably be better without the lens, but I don't think it matters a whole lot. You know, I think it's just the amount that it affects it is probably minimal, so I wouldn't say so. The only reason I'm going this route is because I really like the look of it. Now these are the old lights that I've got. You might be able to see they haven't got a halo ring, and I've struggled with finding out where to put the side lights on these, and I've decided to do this. This is the other side. I've vinyl wrapped this in a satin matte black. I'm not very good at vinyl wrapping, I'll admit that, so I'm going to peel that off and possibly paint this, because I don't want it to be glossy. But you might be able to see that I've got the halo ring there, and they are going to be my side lights. So that is going to be the headlight on the Discovery when it's finished. So I hope that answered the question and I didn't babble too much. The next question is by Steph Coru, and he asks, how many years have you owned and driven the Discovery? Now I wasn't going to include that question because Smithy asked how long I'd owned the Discovery, but it's kind of a different question. Now I've owned the Discovery for 10 years nearly in August, and I haven't actually driven it for them 10 years. I've had a bit of a period about 4-5 years ago. I actually paid a fella to do some welding work on the Land Rover. I didn't pay him loads. I asked him to get it through the MOT and weld the rust up. It was quite rotten on the sills, and there was a bit on the inner arches at the front. I asked him to patch it up and get it through the MOT. After he'd got it through the MOT and I saw how badly he'd welded it, I decided to have a go at welding, and I taught myself to weld, and that was how it all escalated into what the Discovery looks like now. His welding was absolutely shocking. He literally got a bit of scrap metal and tack welded it on and bent it over and tack welded it at the top, and then plastered it in Schultz, which in my eyes is a rubbish repair, and he should be ashamed of himself for calling himself a welder for doing that. Yeah, that was kind of what gave me the sort of kick up the bum to say, right, well, I'm going to have a go myself. If he can do a job like that, I can do a lot better. Yeah, and I have done a lot better. So yeah, it's probably only been driven about 8 years. It was off the road for a couple of years. I was working at Honda at the time, and I was working full time, so with the Land Rover being off the road, I was working there all during the day and then coming home and doing a couple of hours on the car most nights, and I did that for a good couple of years, doing it on the driveway with no roof, not out of the elements. You know, if it rained, obviously I wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, fighting with the weather and time, it took me a couple of years to get it finished, but I did. I got it finished, and it is what it is now. So I'd say probably 8 years I've driven it for, but I've owned it for 10. And obviously now it's off the road. It's been off the road for a month, so there's a month here and there when it's not been on the road. Good question though. Hope I didn't waffle too much. Next question is by Tina Dusty Rose. She's been with me on my YouTube experience ever since the beginning, really. She started following me on my Northern Explorer channel, and yeah, she's also helped me with some tips, because she's got quite a big channel. She's up to 50 odd thousand, I think she is, maybe even 60 now, followers on her channel over in the USA. And her question is, will you be doing live streams? Now, on my other channel I did quite a lot of live stream walks, and it was quite a hit because quite a lot of my videos were walks and hikes and all that kind of stuff. I'm finding this channel is mainly Land Rover related and off-road related. All the views and the watch time is on the discovery and all that kind of side of things. I have posted a few walking videos, and to be honest, they've flopped. Nobody's watched them, not many people have enjoyed them. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I do enjoy the walks and exploring. That's what my channel's pretty much about, getting out the outdoors, exploring, seeing new things. So they are going to still post, I am still going to post them types of videos, they're just not going to do as well. With regard to the live streaming, I might do some live streams. I might do some live stream Q&As. I think getting to know the followers, you guys getting to know me, might be quite helpful. I want the channel to be a bit more personal than some commercial advertising channel. I don't want to be trying to sell you guys, you know, products. I've noticed a lot of the big YouTubers, say for instance the DJI Mini 3 has just come out, and my feed is just full of Mini 3 reviews, and you can tell that they've obviously been given the drone by DJI to review, which is great, that's good for them, but I want to make content that I'm interested in and that means something to me. I don't want to be trying to sell you guys stuff. I want to show you how I do things and show you where I go and my experiences, and hopefully it can encourage you to do the same thing. And I've noticed that I get stuck quite a lot of times trying to fix something and not knowing how to do it, so if I see somebody else do something, it might give me an idea on how to do it myself. So that's the aim of my channel. So yeah, there will be live streams. Maybe when the channel gets a bit bigger and there's a bit more following, people can give me suggestions where to go, what to do with the live streams. But maybe having a beer with you guys in the garage, doing a live half-an-hour chat, you know, asking questions, all that kind of stuff. We'll probably do that more than the walks. Unless you want me to do live walks, then we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Next question, Patty Webber. What are your favourite lanes to go to? Well, I've got quite a few favourites, to be honest. I've only done Yorkshire and the Lake District, really. I've done my local ones around here in Lancashire. One of my favourites is Snakebreak Lane, which is just outside Garstang. It's not a long lane, but it was one of the first lanes that I ever did in a Freelander, and I was hooked ever since. What you do is you go down a really steep hill through some forest area, and you drive down a valley through a river and back up the other side, but it's really picturesque and it's quite challenging. It was in the Freelander anyway. There's some rocks to navigate and bits and bobs, but it's a nice gentle lane. So that's one of my favourite. There's a few in the lakes that have been graded that are not as challenging anymore. Tilbuth Way, I did that before it was graded, and that was a challenge. That was a good lane. That I really enjoyed that when it was tricky. Now it's graded. It's just a picturesque lane. It's not a challenge, but it's still a nice lane. You've got all the mountains of the Langdales around you. It's lovely. So that's a good one. Parker Moor, I did that again before it was graded. It was tricky, but it wasn't anything to struggle about. Now it's graded, it's a bit easier. Still, again, picturesque lane. Quite a long lane, and you have to turn around at the top and come back, because it's a no through road. But what we normally do is we get to the top and you've got fantastic views over Coniston and the old manor Coniston in the background. It's a great place to have a picnic, have a brew, something to eat, chill out, and then come back down the other side. Well, not the other side. And then come back down, let me have a brew. I'm stood in shorts and t-shirt in garage and it's chucking it down outside. It's freezing in here, so I'm shivering a little bit, sorry. Yeah, so you go to the top. It's a great place to sit down, have a brew, take in the views, and then come back down. Trying to think of another lane. Yeah. Another lane that I've enjoyed is Breast High, which is just outside Kendal. Quite a long lane, quite a rocky, big bouldery lane, but nice. When you get to the top, you've got the views all across of Kendal and the surrounding areas. It's a lovely lane. Yeah, so when I get the Land Rover sorted and back on the road, I'm going to take a trip up that way and we'll do some more of them. So there'll be plenty of videos there. Another one that I've seen, Old Coach Road in the Lakes, is a good lane. I've not done it yet, but I am planning on doing it very soon. I'm planning on doing that and a bit of an overnight camp there, so there'll be a bit of an overlanding video on that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. Yeah, so there are some of the questions that you guys have asked me. I really appreciate the questions. If you have any more questions, please pop them in the comments. If you think that I've waffled on too much, let me know. I'll try and tone it down a little bit. And yeah, welcome back. I'm going to try and get a video out each week. It's going to be challenging, juggling everything. I am working 2 jobs now as well, so I might not be able to do it every week. Please bear with me and don't lose your shit. Another one will be out soon if I haven't posted one every week. I'm waffling again now. I need to tidy this garage up, so thanks for watching and we'll see you next week. What's that? The little... It's not a comma. I've forgotten what it is. I don't know what it is. It's not a slash. It's not a hash. No idea. Gone. Cuckoo. I'll have a drink and a think. Right. What is that? What is that called? Not space. Underscore. It's not underscore. It's not under. Hyphen. Hyphen. That's it. Next question is by Steph Koru. It just sounds stupid when I say it like that, doesn't it?